I know we were expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control.
I want every gun we have to fire on that man.
I'm done. This guy, he's more incompetent than Chris. Another upgrade failed. Welcome guys to F1 2018 Career Mode. This is episode number 8 here for the French Grand Prix. We have good news, we have bad news. The upgrade part failed, but the good news is we actually had another upgrade that went on the car, and we've now overtaken Toro Rosso in the field. So, good and bad news. We take the good with the bad, and also with that, I didn't get any recording from qualifying because my game crashed, lost the files for that, and we're just going to jump straight to the race. So, it's P17, but we'll be promoted to P16 due to some grid penalties. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome to the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. It's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. And let's hope we see more of those in the race today. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Now I want to ask you about Fernando Alonso. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be, it's about effective damage limitation.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen, and Vettel, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Grosjean and Sergio Perez, Van Dorn, Sainz, Esteban Ocon and Leclerc, Gasly, Mr. Monaco, Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. Sirotkin and Brendan Hartley rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Okay, so here we are on the grid of the French Grand Prix. I know we've been thrusted into this very, very quickly, but this race is all about a bit of a learning experience. This is a new track for all of us, and it did take me a while to get into the swing of things this weekend, but that certainly was not an excuse, I'd say. By the time qualifying rolled around, I had a very good understanding of the circuit, but I just wasn't quick enough, if that made sense. So, yeah, heading into the race, it's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully we can move forward. Charles looks like he's on the pace, so hopefully we can match it with him. 5 red lights and away we go for the French Grand Prix. Looks like a bit of wheel spin off the start there. That Stroll of the Williams. Got to go start. Screw it, I'm leaving it in. Turn 1. Tried to go up the inside of those guys. We've now got Alonso trying to hang it around the outside. I've got a bit of oversteer through that little chicane there, and that is us holding on to our original qualifying position of P17. So let's see what we can do from here. Stroll and Gasly going side by side. Hopefully we can make the most of this. This is actually your guys' first look at the track on this episode as well. So g'day, welcome to the French Grand Prix. We got the inside of Lance Stroll there. Now we're going to have to hold it around the outside. He kind of didn't leave us much space there, so he had to take to the AstroTurf there and got an illegal overtake, had to ease off the throttle, and now we've lost like another 2 positions because of that. So yeah, certainly on the back foot here on this first lap of the French Grand Prix. We've now got Hartley on our inside. Proximity arrows are absolutely glowing red as we fall off the circuit there ever so slightly. So it's been a very counterproductive start to this Grand Prix. The AI really seeming to muscle me out of position, which is, you know, something that I normally do to them. So it looks like they're not taking any of my crap today. But anyway, we hold it around the outside of Hartley. Back into P19. We will briefly last there for a few seconds. So a pretty scary start. Hopefully now that we've settled into the Grand Prix, as we lose the back end, we can, you know, find a rhythm, find a groove, and move forward. We're certainly faster than P19 at the moment. Like I said, we are faster than Toro Rosso. We're essentially in the pack now when it comes to you know, the performance of our car now, so we should be well and truly battling for points now. Gasly getting shoved out by Van Dorn and then almost finished off by Sorokin as they made side-to-side contact through this first sector. Up the inside into this short little right-hander. P17, thank you very much. Okay, things are starting to settle down now as we hold it around the outside of Gasly. I will say this circuit, so nice to drive. So many satisfying, high-speed, flowing corners, especially the third sector as we got the inside of Stroll there. That's another place. I think it's P17. All the corners kind of feed into each other, and it's if you get one section run wrong, you're pretty much screwed for the entirety of the third sector. But honestly, apart from like the last corner, every single corner on this circuit is really satisfying to drive. By nature, it kind of feels a little bit like China, but in a different way. It's odd. I really like this circuit. I really love turns 1 and 2, how you just flow, go up and kind of downhill. There's a bit of, you know, undulation there, and it just kind of feels really satisfying when you absolutely nail it through there. Up the inside again into P14 now. This is a nice little overtaking spot for us. We just do the shortcut up the inside. The AI take the racing line, and as such they leave a little bit of room on the inside, and that is all the invitation we need to go up the inside. So that's the gap to the next group of cars. Magnussen up next in P13. Sorokin, though, is not done with me just yet. That Mercedes-powered Williams, pretty darn strong in a straight line. We try and hold it around the outside. We'll have the inside for the next right-hander. Job done. Thank you very much. P14. Sorokin, please leave me alone and allow me to get on with my race. So, yeah, like I said, we didn't qualify too well. Pace just wasn't quite there, but as I continue to do laps, as I continue to learn the circuit, I feel like we'll get faster as the race goes on. We're on a one-stop as well, whereas others, I'm assuming, will be doing a two-stop, so that could play into our favour as well. Next up is Leclerc, P7. A lot of the front runners are now making their first stop, getting rid of their ultra-soft tyres. So we should have a bit of track position come to us now. Ocon got spun out there in the little chicane there in the middle sector. He's going side by side with my teammate here. He goes up the inside, and I think Charles might have actually turned across him and spun him out. So could be a drive-through penalty heading the way of my teammate. This is the onboard from Ocon. He's actually locked up. Okay, no, actually this is different. This changes things. So Ocon has, he's even swerved at Charles as well, then locked up, ran wide, and actually gone into Charles's line. So initially, I thought that was all Charles's fault. It's all Ocon's. Never mind. So he brought that on himself. But anyway, the race leaders now dive in. Pretty much everyone has stopped with the exception of maybe one or two cars, and now we find ourselves in third and fourth place, respectively, for the Saubers. So going really well at the moment, but of course we still need to make another stop. I think if we just keep up this pace, keep going, we're on target for some really, really good points today. We're possibly going to establish ourselves well inside the top 10 if this keeps up. But I'm doing the absolute best I can. I'm trying to match it with Charles. He's just a few seconds up the road right now. I feel like for the most part we're actually matching him. But yeah, he's doing a really good job at the moment, and it's refreshing to see that a teammate is driving so well and giving me that motivation to just keep on pushing forward to do better, I suppose. But Hamilton dispatches of me. He now dispatches of my teammate Charles Leclerc in about 2 laps. So Hamilton on the fresh supers, absolutely flying at this stage. And as ever, I'm just trying to close in the gap to my teammate. I felt like it was working up until this point, but now the tyres are starting to go off. I'm now getting overtaken by people in much faster cars, and it's kind of disrupting my flow and my rhythm a little bit. We completely slide off the circuit there and give up spots to Vettel and Bottas. And at that point, my tyres were just gone. I was sliding around too much. They were overheating, and overall, the lap time was just completely going out the window. But I had to stretch the stint in order to make the one-stop viable. Here goes Verstappen. Riccardo actually up the inside. We don't really fight that. We're going to save the battery and the fuel a little bit and just let him go. That's not our fight. Our fight is with our teammate and trying to minimize the amount of time that we lose to him. But I think we're going to be coming in on this lap now. It's just about time to switch off these tyres and get on the new ones. That was actually my first approach into that pit lane ever, so I was a bit cautious, and with the pit speed limit very, very low, I almost sped into there even though I took it conservatively. But into the pit lane now, soft compound tyres are going on, and we will take these to the end of the Grand Prix. Thankfully, Sauber actually gave us the undercut, so we'll be able to make up a few seconds potentially as we rejoin on the circuit. This is actually really crucial that we get out in front of Stroll here, and we do. Great job, team. We've got to chase down Ocon now, who has overtaken us in this field, even though he spun out. So that's how much time we lost. We lost maybe 5-6 seconds, but we're going to gain back like a pit stop later on because everyone else is doing an extra one. Charles responds on the next lap, and he rejoins well ahead of us. I think he's going to be like 5 seconds in front. So that's the target for the rest of the Grand Prix now. Chase down our teammate. Lewis Hamilton is out of the Grand Prix. He's pulled over to the side. He's got some kind of mechanical failure, and his championship aspirations have taken a massive, massive hit. It's so to and fro in the championship right now. So many different people are having issues. The Red Bulls are constantly scoring points and putting pressure on the top two teams. And again, that is another blow for the championship hopes. But anyway, for us, I'm pushing on as much as I can. I felt like on the balance of things, the ERS was very harsh around here. It was depleting so quickly, but it was so hard to recover the energy as well. So a lot of the time, I just found myself having to recover the energy and not really use high deployment modes all too much. I'd use high on the straights a little bit, but it would just deplete it so quickly. I'd have to use low or none in terms of deployment for the rest of the lap, or at least the third sector. But my pace, because of that, was really getting knocked around. But anyway, lap 19, Hulkenberg has just come out of the pits. He is chasing us down now on fresher tyres. I believe he's on the supers as well, so he's got a compound softer and was catching us by like 2 seconds a lap. He goes almost up the inside into that middle sector chicane. In terms of spotting that corner, it's not that difficult. I'm able to do that without any racing line or anything like that, which is surprising. That's Hulkenberg going up the inside into the fast right-hander, giving us a bit of a squeeze as well as he slides up the inside and gets P6. I'm going to have to get a replay of that. That was really close. I was not expecting him to dive up the inside into that corner. He actually gave us a touch at high speed, squeezed in there, and got the move done. Look at this. There was a touch of seriously, seriously high speed. Surprised that I didn't get spun out, violently because of that. But he took the risk, and he has got the reward. He's now chasing after Charles Leclerc now, our teammate, with, I think, 5 laps left to go, or something like that. We cut to lap 24 now. Hulkenberg has bridged the gap massively to my teammate. I'm hoping he can hold on here. I did the best to hold up Hulkenberg as long as what I could. But, yeah, it was only a matter of time before Hulkenberg would get us. Now, Grosjean is having a little shot at us now. And at this point, just having to manage everything. I've used up all of my fuel now to compensate for the battery not really deploying very much. And now it's just down to us to hold on to this position on the last lap. Here goes Grosjean up the inside into the first corner. We'll hold it for the outside, but no, we get tagged. Spun out on the inside. And that is us potentially out of the points with that incident with Grosjean. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He was up the inside. He locks up on the inside as well. Cuts himself wide and spins us out. So here's the replay. Up the inside. He locks up the inside front. He misses the apex and comes over into our line and spins us out. That's really frustrating. But at the same time, that might well be karma for what happened last episode in Canada, where we turned across Hulkenberg. That kind of scenario has happened to me. I've done that to the AI many times, and it's happened to us today. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. We're still going to get 10th place, so at least there is a point to show after all this.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
A great win then for the Maranello team today. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
Great day for Sebastian Vettel. He gets the win today. Bottas and Ricciardo on the podium as well, with Hamilton not seeing the end of that race. Means he's going to drop big points in the championship. Verstappen not in the top few positions either. He was our championship leader. I'm not too sure if he's been overtaken. I believe Vettel might have actually jumped him in the championship now, but we'll have to get confirmation on that. Charles Leclerc, man of the match, driver of the day, 100%, 5th place after starting in 14th. His pace was phenomenal. His consistency, I would say, was even better. As my tyres started to go off, he was extending the gap even further, and I thought that was a weakness of Charles's driving up until this point. At the end of stints, we closed him up so much, but today, he took us to school, essentially. But there we go. That's just confirmation of the potential of our teammate. He finally gets a good race. He has no problems, and he gets 5th place. Excellent job.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? We all underestimated you, didn't we? Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Claire. And there we go. That is the end of this episode. Absolutely raced through this one, I think. But hopefully you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2018 content. We get a bonus for meeting the team's objectives. I think we had to score another bundle of points, which we did so. Surprisingly, the media was happy even after we lost quite a few positions at the end there. We now have the chance to do a contract renewal, so we're going to really push the limits with this one if we can. I'm going to push for first driver status. I'm going to try and get more resource points in terms of the bonus. Go for major upgrades, level 2. We can probably afford to up the expected position as well, since the car is getting upgraded a little bit. We've also moved the team goal to hard, so we get harder objectives but bigger rewards if we pass. I don't really care about pit stop efficiency and simultaneous development. We'll just leave that where it is. And I feel like that should be a good offer. Let's see what the team think.
Our proposal has been accepted. The new contract will take effect from the next race weekend.
Okay, cool. So we actually had a little bit left on the table there to push the boundaries of the contract, and I'll definitely take that into consideration for the next one. We probably could have gone for pit stop efficiency there, but to be honest, didn't really care about that. The main ones were first driver and the resource point bonus. That long term is going to mean so much for the development of our car. The fact that we're getting these perks and bonuses so early on in this career mode is just going to do wonders in getting this car up the field. But for the upgrade that failed at the start of the episode, we've now amended that. That'll go on next week for the next race. So we'll find out what the performance gain is with that. We almost have enough points to do a major power unit upgrade, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. So instead, we're going to go for downforce once again. We're going to go for front downforce, and we don't have enough to do 2. So we're just going to do 1, and we'll leave it at that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. That'll really help me out. I'm going to try and keep career mode going as often as I can. I'm going to try and bring it to you guys daily. As well as doing other videos as well. In terms of those, let me know what you want to see from F1 2018. Like I said, we'll be doing many more online stuff, so follow me on Twitter to know when I'm going to go racing with you guys. I might live stream it, so we'll have to wait and see. Either on YouTube, if not, it'll be on Twitch, so check out the links in the description to find all my other social media stuff. But that's it for today. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.